tal, mi gente? Estamos de vuelta con The Witcher 3 The Wild Hunt, The Complete Edition, The Red Platinum. Vamos a continuar donde dejamos en el capítulo anterior, en el cual no hicimos nada de lo planeado, la verdad. Nos dejamos atrapar por lo que fue Novigrado, por las cosas y por su, sobre todo creo que mercaderes. Quedaron muchos libros por leer, que vamos a comenzar a leer ahora, enseguida, antes de que se me olvide. Y luego sí continuamos con lo que estaba haciendo, así que vamos allá, vamos a darle.
As the Emperor's spies told him, Ciri had reached Novigrad. A lone attempt to find her in the North's largest city would certainly fail. But Geralt had friends he could count on. The Witcher decided to contact Triss Merigold.
Ok, aquí estábamos, ¿no? Encontramos un libro de alguien que no sabemos quién es, que comienza con A, pero no sabemos quién es. Vamos a para intentar leer los libros que nos quedan por leer. Entonces este ya no se puede leer. Este. Moribundia, the vampire's last likeness, other. Thereupon Isabella took Edward's glistening visage in her hand and embraced his icy lips, which were twisted into a cynical grin. "Forgive me, my love," she whispered, stifling the soft heaving in her bosom. "But my heart does long with fiercer passion for young werewolf, whom thou hatest with all thy vampiric thoughtlessness." This for the verse, spoke Edward, shifting his face towards the equally pale moon. "With me thy life was ever endangered. With young werewolf, thou shalt know peace and happiness." Esta vaina es Crepúsculo, ¿no? Edward turned around and took a step towards the exit, but Isabella grabbed his ribs and bade him stop. The touch of her hand was so tender, his heart newly began to beat anew after centuries of deathly stillness. "There is more," spoke she, averting his penetrating gaze. "I am with child." Buenísimo, ¿no? Tyromancy, or the noble art of cheese divination. What a splendid diversity reigns in the kingdom of cheese. The ripened curd can be white or blue, hard or soft, fresh or aged, from the milk of cow, sheep or goat, brine, pickle or untouched. These lists could go on till the end of time, and each of them, every last slide, every morsel uncrumbed, not only brings with it an unmatched rush of sensory experience, but in the right hands can be made to reveal the universe's most closely guarded secrets. For cheese, like the innards of sacrificed animals, the flight of a swallow or vivid dreams can be used for divination. The depth and size of a cheese hole reveal when rains will fall in the coming year, while the color of mole veins tells who shall love whom, and the scent of a hard grana padano predicts which army will vanquish its foes and which shall perish. The best divination, however, is done using the ancient method of fondue. One must simply melt two different kinds of cheese, preferably Emmental and Gruyere, in white wine or in a pinch of a dry apple cider. The one must use a long stick to immerse a morsel of bread in the resultant thick, soppy mixture, all the while keeping in mind the question, what shall my child be like when he, or she, as the case may be, grows? Then bring the cheese-covered morsel of bread up to a candle, so that it casts a shadow on the wall. The shade will provide a sure and easily understood answer to your query. Seriously? Narasin, son of Gonstead. When he awoke, he saw before him an endless swath of blue. On the horizon the sky merged with the glassy sea. The storm had passed, so had the Loamship and all his crew. He never learned how long he had lain unconscious in the lifeboat. The sun had scorched his skin, a purplish red, and turned his lip to brittle parchment. He was overcome by a great thirst, but there was nothing on the boat with which to quench it. Had he been spared from so much only to die now? No. Narasen was the son of the great Gonstead, and he will never give up. He had had 20 sprints under his belt when he embarked on this voyage. When was that? Long ago, very long ago. Back when his friends still lived. When he still had his left hand, not this stiff stump. When his beard was still red and not streaked with silver. The drive for glory which had driven him from his family home had demanded a high price. Narasen had never given that a second thought, but now, alone in a lifeboat, in the middle of an endless ocean, he felt tired. He wanted to once go again to set eyes on the farm on which he had been raised, to see the eyes of his mother, who had lulled him to sleep with tales of the deeds of the legendary heroes. Now he had become one of them. Now mothers will tell their sons about him. His greatest dream had become reality. He should have been happy, but he wasn't. Perhaps if he had known them, what travails and hardships awaited him. That no man can know his future. One thing is sure, however, even if Narasen had known what horrors this life had in store for him, he never would have chosen another. He was the son of the great Gonstead, and he had walked the path of glory, from which one can never stray, no matter the cost. Joder, quedan 7. No me lo puedo creer, y son largos, mano. The ways and manners of Skellige folk. One attention immediately is drawn to the fact that their seemingly impoverished huts shine with cleanliness. The walls of their homes are usually made from pine and covered with a substance derived from sap, which keeps out all manner of vermin. I believe the skirts of insects as well, but I did not see a single one indoors during my entire stay in Skellige. The interiors of their huts are quite spacious and usually divided into 2 rooms. The first is used by the members of the household during the day and is separated by a doorway from the second, which acts as a bedroom and contains only simple wooden bed, covered with linens that resemble sacks more than continental bedding. In the middle of each main chamber, stands a large round table around which the members of the household gather to eat only once a day. This usually happens just after dusk, the time for their main meal. This supper is a hallowed event and is carried out in a nearly ritualistic manner, and is started before the family members have even taken their seats around the table. The elders of the family tear off a piece of bread and place it on something of a household altar, which occupies a place of honor in each Skellige home. These serve as a symbol of respect for deceased ancestors. At the end of this ceremony for the departed, the entire family sits down to eat. The eldest woman places a steaming bowl in the middle of the table. Everyone has their own spoon, which they dip, one by one, into the basin of food. They must often eat porridge, over which they pour a gravy made from meat or fish. Curiously, immediately upon the supper's conclusion, the eldest takes the price of bread set aside at the start of the meal and places it in a large amphora. As I later learned, when an amphora becomes full, it is filled with boiling water and a beverage is brewed which in taste somewhat resembles beer, though it is much weaker. Interesting. The horse whistler. Breaking in a horse psyche is a simple matter of instilling your will as the rider into your mount. Acquiring is trust and training is obedience. Horses are intelligent, noble beasts, so they should be treated with tenderness and a decisive and firm energy. Mayer, the unquestioned authority in this area, emphasizes that when training one's mount, a rider must eternally on the lookout for errors in the training itself. Every time the taming process ends in failure, the rider must look for the blocking error first of all in his own actions. Secondly, in the horse anatomy, and only in a last resort by concluding the horse has a naturally difficult temperament. Adhering to this principle protects one from undue punishment, which destroys the possibility of reaching an understanding between rider and mount, and make it impossible to gain the animal's trust. Joder, tío. This is long. Fuck you. The little peasant who confounded his lord. Winter was on his way, and the lord once again started to think about what to do to oppress his people even more. One morning, at the crack of the crocker crowed, he rode out into the village in a carriage pulled by 2 black horses, with his trusted page at his side. To add as he described, the earth was soddened and a cruel mud covered the road. So the lord, not wanting to dirty his shiny new boots, stayed in his carriage and sent his page to do his bidding. When they arrived at the village, the page dismounted from the carriage, a paper covered in thick ink clutched in his hand. He nailed the paper to the first hut he saw, and since he did it with a hammer, a peasant boy named Reuben soon opened the door up to see what was the matter. The boy was 12 years of age and had a straw-colored shock of cow liquor hair and a freckled face with ruddy cheeks. "Well, what do you want?" grumbled the page, looking at Reuben's shirt, which was covered in the same fields as everything else in the village. "Well, nothing," rightly, Reuben shrugged. "Thing is, sir, this here my home." "Then get inside it." The boy wasn't scared, and instead stood on his doorstep looking at the piece of paper. "What's this, sir?" "A letter," the boy asked. "Read it and find out for yourself," the scribe said, growing angrier, though Reuben didn't seem to notice. "I fear I can, sir. Don't know how." "Well, the devil's taking you, scribe," the lord hollered. He was still sitting in his carriage and hadn't heard the conversation. Clearly he was growing bored. "The wolf says he doesn't know how to read." "'Cause he don't," Reuben confirmed and took 2 steps toward the carriage, his bare feet sinking into the muddy grey muck. "And the ones inside, do they?" questioned the lord. You reckon for they learn a thing like that, my lord?" the peasant asked, perplexed, for he had always thought great lords like that must surely know everything. "So who in your village does know how to read?" asked the lord, growing even more irritated. "No one, my lord," the scribe, the lord said, leaning far out while leaning on his carriage door. "Could you explain to me how I am to enforce my declaration on people who do not know how to read and write?" "I don't know, my lord," the scribe said, taking a step back, as if he expected the lord to jump out of the carriage and assault him. The fault was not his, but the lord was in the habit of beating his scribe when he grew angry, no matter the cause. Mamma mia. A few remarks on basilisks and cockatrices. "Why you got such big eyes, grandmam?" asked the little girl with worry. "Shriek, shriek," replied the basilisk. "Grandma, why do you say shriek, shriek?" asked the little girl with surprise. The basilisk didn't reply, but instead clamped its toothy, venomous maw over the curious little girl and swallowed her up. Luckily, a witcher by the name of Esco, was wandering these lands in search of a seagull. The witcher was experienced and so knew basilisks only turn people to stone in fairy tales. He also knew it is best to avoid their venom. Esco noticed that the monster had recently eaten, and before anyone could say "ready, steady, go," he threw himself at the beast and cut it open with his silver sword. The basilisk's stomach opened up, and the witcher saw the half-digested, foolish little girl inside. Okay, interesting. Beasts of the Turkish foothills. The peasants of the Turkish foothills are fiends are born of magic, for at times witches cast spells on bears, causing them to mount boards, and the resultant offspring is neither boar nor bear, but has the makings of a fiend. Usually such boar piglets died of hunger, but they are at times found and taken in by witches. Raised on enchanted milk, they grow in strength, and soon enough the milk is no longer enough for them. Now fiends, they start hunting and kill their victim with their ferocity of a bird and the strength of a bear. Yet they remain ever true to their mothers, meaning the witches. The witches protect them from danger, answer their every summons, and aid them in all things. Ghouls and Alghouls. As for the genesis of ghouls, there are hypotheses aplenty. Some scholars claim these monstrosities arose from scoundrels who indulged in a taste for human flesh, and for this misdeed drew the wrath of the heavens down upon themselves. The gods punished them by taking away their souls, their minds, and their human forms. My experiments have shown, however, that ghoul anatomy displays far too little in common with that of humans for this thesis to seem at all probable. Any and all similarity in appearance between ghouls and men, such as their somewhat kindred shapes, and the measures of their physiognomies, are pure matters of incidental circumstance. It thus follows that ghouls, like their vile cousins the Alghouls, are post-conjunction creatures. That is to say, such beings as came to our universe in an abrupt cataclysm, disrupting the normal laws of nature. Man, you got to be fucking kidding me! Golem, or man's most faithful servant. Despite what you might have heard, the first golem was created not by a powerful mage or elven sage, but by a simple dwarf from Maribor named Bonaventura Sesto, a brickmaker. The fateful act of creation took place over a century ago, when the persecution of non-humans was in full swing in Maribor. Elves and dwarves had been accused of bringing an epidemic to the city, though it was later discovered the outbreak had been caused by a man named Matteo, a barkeep dust body at the Golden Goose Inn. This Matteo was charged with both serving meals and cleaning the latrines, holy fuck, and would only wash his hands once a month, and then not very thoroughly. The rest, as they say, is history. The persecution of non-humans was limited at first to robbing their shops, arson, and the occasional beating, but the violence soon escalated into a bloody pogrom. As the city guard looked on without lifting a finger, humans murdered elves and dwarves during 3 days and 3 nights of slaughter, killing over 300 individuals, including the aforementioned Bonaventura Sesto's entire family. Driving mad with grief and thirsting for vengeance, Bonaventura molded a 10-foot-tall humanoid out of clay, and then carved the names of the slain non-humans onto it, along with a smattering of dwarven curses. Once finished, he slit his own throat, and when his blood splattered his gigantic statue, he came alive and started walking towards the city. Bonaventura had his sweet revenge on his persecutors. His creation killed almost 500 humans, all that, including the mayor and the entire city council, before the soldiers from the city garrison could take it out using their ballista. The conclave's later investigation found that Bonaventura had possessed hidden magic talent, though he had never had any training. The torrent of powerful emotions running to him at the time of his death flushed out his latent powers, and created from then a new spell. After numerous alterations and improvements, one can now cast this spell without sacrificing one's life, and golems guard laboratories, libraries, and palaces across the continent. The last one, however, finally, wondrous world of insectoids. One is hard-pressed to think of a creature more hard-working and better organized than the Endrega. Ants, bees, and termites are no match for them in this regard. Endregas best even humans when it comes to foresightedness and industry. In fact, the human race could benefit a great deal from following their example, resigning from the primitive and obsolete social structures of feudalism, and adopting instead a form of arachocommunism. In arachocommunism, every individual has a specific place and performs a specific labor for the common good. The roles are as follows: worker, soldier, and queen. Each comrade contributes to the necessary daily toil according to his special abilities, and takes from the common fount of wealth according to his special needs. And we fucking did it! Right? Tan, tararán, tan, tan, tararán. Joder, por fin. Uff, muchos libros, muchos libros. Vale. Insectoides. Arakazai. Narake Woodke Endigan. Let sleeping Arakazai lie. Powerful elven proverb. Powerful pincers. A mouth filled with razor-sharp teeth and venom glands packed with deadly toxins. These constitute the Aracha's deadly arsenal, since people and farm animals make an important part of this creature's diet. Contract on Arakazai. In turn constitute an important source of witcher coin. In Dregadromes, lazy, good-for-nothing men are sometimes called drones. That is an insult to Dregadromes, who at least get off their arses to fight. Evelyn Harker, herbalist. And dragon males, called drums, are gluttonous creatures who only aim in life is to eat, fight, and reproduce. Yet when venturing outside their nest, these aggressive hunters attack any and every creature they come across. And Dregadromes live but breathe life, the culmination of which comes in the autumn when they fertilize the queen. They pass the time leading to that moment protecting the colony's territory. Weaker drones die in these battles, while the largest and strongest survive. These elect individuals' genes are passed down to the next generation of Endregas, while they themselves are killed after fertilization takes place and their bodies used to feed the hive during the long winter month. Drones are easy to identify thanks to their distinctive cone-shaped abdomen. Unlike other Endregas, they can attack from a distance, sending out volleys of poison quills. As with all of their kind, bleeding has no effect on them, and insectoid oil does great harm. Relics. Chords. Chords are smaller than fiends, true, but still big enough to kill. Agnes Thistled, herbalist from the Black Forest. Chords are the somewhat smaller kin of fiends and bomback betches. Yet any witcher who thinks their diminutive stretchers means their present no danger commits a grave error, the kind that can end his career permanently. These denizens of dark and ancient woods are some of the most dangerous monsters known to men. Legends often mistake Chords for Sylvans, ascribing to them the ability to speak, stand on two legs, gobble up cabbage, play pranks, and work mischief around the household. The arrival of a true Chord in a region soon puts an end to such tales. The creatures do not speak, at best communicating with each other through grunts, snorts, and moans. They get about on four legs, and as for their mischief, they destroy farmsteads, devouring anything that can be devoured, including cabbage, if such is available, but also extending to poultry, pork, the family dog, and then the family itself. Chords fight with little finesse, running straight towards their opponent and trying to knock him to the ground with the force of their charge. After drowning their foe, they bite, kick, and strike with their claw-tipped paws. Due to their size and fort-like posture, they are mostly unperturbed by the force of the art sign, and their regenerative powers of their body allows any wounds they receive to heal at a rapid pace. Ok, abbiamo finito. Joder. I'm tired, to be honest. I am fucking tired. I am fucking tired. Vale, continuamos.
Interested in books? You don't look the scholar, but we've ones with drawings as well.
Oof. Play cards? Please, por favor. Oof. I need a distraction right now.
A few rounds of Gwent.
Por favor. Vamos a probarla. Quiero probar esta. Joder, ya tiene Jaskier, hermano. No me jodas. Joder, tiene a Milva. No me jodas. Voy perdiendo. Tiene a Avalak. Tiene a fucking Avalak. Serás cabrón. No me jodas. Ah, ya la perdí. Coge, para ti. Roach, ¿qué hace Roach aquí, mano? Ah, ya perdí. Es la habilidad de... Mira eso. ¿Usted quién es? No me lo puedo creer, hermano. No, forfeited. ¿Usted por qué juega tanto?
Ah, you're back.
¿Ah?
Up for a few rounds of Gwent?
¿Cuál es la habilidad de estos manes? Cara, no me acuerdo. A win whenever it's draw, ok. Joder, vamos a probar con este de nuevo. Ah, ese man está chetadísimo. Tiene demasiadas buenas cartas. Cabrón. Que no sé si quiero perder esta ronda. Joder, tío. Me va ganando. Cabrón, perfecto. Thank you very much. No me jodas, sálgame algo bueno, ya ve. Joder, y me va a sacar a Siri. Serás cabrón. Joder. No, un have a car. No me jodas. Que se gaste todas sus cartas. Cabrón. Te toca seguir jugando, cabrón. Vale, vale. Oh, me va a salir un decoy. No te jode. Pues tengo 14. Ay, ¿qué sacas tú ahora? Toma, ganamos. Toma, cabrón. Ya de una, venga. Joder, usted estaba crack. Win Relief. Pero eso es un... Espérate, eso es un buen deck. Monster. Vale. Vamos. No.
It's never too late to see the light.
Aye, to leave this city somewhere.
Be gone.
Mug like that, I'll get you a copper.
Well, another freak.
Don't know who you're looking for, but you won't find him here.
Golden Sergeant.
Sharp pain in his spine.
Ah, espérate. Me di cuenta, menos mal me di cuenta. Se dije, what the fuck.
It's never too late to see the light.
Yo creo que no he estado aquí.
Master Claytop, that would be me, has the honor.
What'll it be?
Show me what you got.
What are you serving?
Pero no, me vende uno. ¿Esto qué es? Ya. Cards.
Not hungry, not thirsty, but I sure wouldn't mind a round of Gwent.
Ok. No seas tan difícil, cabrón. Pero vamos a ver qué podemos arreglar aquí. Roach, no sé. No. Uf, ¿y este casa afuera? Vale. Vamos a probar otra vez con este. Ay, que este es de 9, mano. Demasiado heavy. Thank you, Letho. No me jodas. Joder, todavía tiene más cartas que yo. Mano, ¿qué te está pasando ahora el juego? Ahora me sacan a este man. Joder, ya perdí. La cagué. La acabo de cagar. ¿Qué está pasando, llave? Joder, tiene más cartas que yo. ¿Qué está pasando, llave? No, ay, cogí el que no era, wey, puchicale. Ah, me toca usar 2 veces este man, ya ves. Qué vaina tan cabrona. Te manqué. No me la puedo creer. Que no me la puedo fucking creer, ya ve. Serás cabrón, serás cabrón. Ya perdimos, mira. Mira todo lo que tiene. No me la puedo creer, no me la puedo fucking creer. Subió como el nivel muy ácido. En revancha, cabrón.
I believe I see a challenge. What'll it be?
Not hungry, not thirsty, but I sure wouldn't mind a round of Gwent.
Human, are you? Look for your kind beyond the walls.
Ok. Venga, vamos a jugar esta, pues. A ver si esta ganamos. Ok. Joder, qué mano tan mala, ya ves. Este man tiene cules de cartas, ya ve. Joder, tío. Tiene demasiadas buenas cartas. Joder, hermano, es algo bueno. Joder. Joder, tío, de verdad. No se me sale la vieja, que cura. Tenemos la ventaja que ahora tenemos más cartas que ella. Joder. Pero seguro tiene un Scorch, así que hay que tener cuidado. Vamos a poner a Kira. Oh, joder, y no le quito ni una carta de la mano, no me lo puedo creer. Vale. Ahí me protejo, ahí me protejo. Que yo creo que no puedo ganar esta ronda. Hay que sacar cuentas. Va todo ahora. Ya me puedo poner las de 6. Pongo esta. Vamos a ver. Dando cuentas. Porque la otra pasa de 8, pasa... Espérate, sería a 12, ¿no? Creo que es. ¿Cómo es la...? ¿Cómo que dice? Place the next card within double the strength of both cards. O sea, creo que sería 4 por 3, ¿no? 12 por 3. 36 más 20. 56. Más 6. 6 más 6. 74. Está complicated. Vamos a ver. Que puedo recuperar a 2. ¿Será cabrona? Joder, tío. Era cabrón que digo el man. Ah, ya otra vez. Otra vez. Coge, para ti. Por fin me la da, joder. Pero no la puedo revivir mucho. Voy a hacer jugar más cartas, cabrona. Asústate. Joder, tío, pero qué vaina tan espectacular. Es como una Scorch. Joder, qué vaina ácida, ya ves. Eso era lo que quería que sacaras. Oh, no te la jugaste con la última carta. Toma, cabrón. Ya, seguida, no quiero perder tiempo. ¿Cuál me das, mano? Dame una buena. Villain Therameth. Es el dragón, ¿no? Es de escoyeto. Sí. Vale, sigamos con la misión. Otra vez casi no hacemos la misión porque ajá.
No glass tastes as sweet as the first backing pull.
Taste the salted cod, don't leave me to laugh at the tent.
Rum, time and again. I'd kill for some vodka.
No hay nada.
I've got a sharp pain in my spine.
Must have broken many a head now.
You call this living, Witcher?
Watch it, Greyhead.
Master Claytop heartily greets the challenger.
Greetings to Master Claytop from Geralt.
Will you take up the challenge? Will you face our tavern's champion?
Some other time.
Maybe later.
Vale, quitando de los puños. Vamos.
Rum, time and again.
Hello, Corinne Tully.
Dreaming here.
Never witnessed a seance like this before, let alone participated.
I will guide you. You must first achieve a kind of mental accord. I must ask some questions. You must answer them. It's important you're truthful. Answer from your heart.
Okay. Dreaming, what is it about?
Your gift. Tell me how it works.
It's hard to describe. To start with, I must gain an understanding of the bond between the person and the object I'm to dream about. I ask questions, try to flesh out feelings, emotions. Truth is essential in this, and though most who come to me acknowledge that, many refuse to speak openly of certain matters. Apart from which, they remain unaware of others, further obscuring things.
What do you see in your dreams?
I don't. It's my client who sees. My gift lies in summoning the right dreams. At times, nightmares or strong desires impose themselves on true events. It takes skill to separate seed from chaff.
Okay, let's do this.
Let's begin.
To start with, tell me a memory you have of this woman.
What for?
Do as I ask, please. I need the strongest, most complete memory you have of...
Ciri. The woman's name is Ciri. Ciri was orphaned during the Second War with Nilfgaard. I had no idea what to do with a young girl, so I did what I would have done with a boy and took her to Kaer Morhen. Figured some physical training, sword work, development of her stamina couldn't hurt. I remember her standing on a crumbling wall. A stone came loose, she lost her footing, caught her at the last possible instant. Strongest memory, though, is of her coming out of her room one day, wearing a dress and claiming she was indisposed. Knew then that Ciri was maturing. It was unavoidable. I was lost in the face of that.
I see. Do you wish to tell me anything more?
Yes.
Yes, I think so.
In that case, I'm listening.
When we first met.
I accepted a job once. Did it. Asked to choose my reward, I invoked the law of surprise. Never thought I'd actually meet the child promised to me at that time. Years later, I was in the Broccolon forest. Happened on a girl there. Didn't know who she was. The Dryads wanted to keep her, turn her into one of their own. But the Waters of Oblivion, they failed in her case. Ciri came out of Broccolon with me. I sent her back to her grandmother then. But already, I felt bound to her.
By destiny.
By something more.
Thank you. Would you be willing to share another memory?
Yes.
Yes.
No need to rush. We have time.
But I don't think I have. Save her life once? Vad är det?
It was after her time training at Kaer Morhen. After the moment when Yennefer first called Ciri her daughter. We'd been separated. I knew she was in danger.
Pardon.
I dreamt of her multiple times. I found her at Stege Castle. She'd gone there to free Yen and gotten herself captured in the process.
Yeah.
They wanted to hurt her. I remember fighting side by side with Ciri on stairs slippery from blood. It was the first time she ever deflected a crossbow bolt with her sword. Told her never to try it again.
These memories, they're intense. Do you wish to continue?
Yeah, I have more to
I
say.
have more to say.
One last one.
Please do.
She was there when I
I
died.
was in Rivia. The Second War with Nilfgaard had just ended. There was still tension in the air. For gods know what reason, race riots erupted in the town. I tried to do something, but couldn't stop a riled crowd. A boy with a pitchfork. He ran it right through my gut. Yennefer lay dying as well. Ciri had us carried onto a boat. We sailed to a place where apple trees bloom eternal. left us there. That was the last time I saw her.
Ok. Vale. Probando. Vale.
You claim the woman has abilities. Tell me about them.
I would say the second one.
They call Ciri the Lady of Space and Time. Once I asked Yennefer why. She travels between worlds. Turns out I don't know how to talk about it. Didn't really understand much of what Yen told me. I just know there's more to it than traveling to different places, and that Ciri carries immense power in her blood.
I see. Do you wish to say more?
Yes. She's the blood.
There's something else. She's a child of the Elder Blood.
A descendant of bloody Volker?
Yes.
The rebel burned at the stake?
Yes, that's
Prophecies
the
claim
same
the
one.
world's destroyer will be born of the Firebrand's cursed blood.
Pure legend.
No one in legend transforms into prophecy when it gains believers. I think you're right to be reticent in talking about the woman. I see. Do you wish to say more?
No.
No. Can we start?
Naturally. I knew you cared about her. But your tone, the emotions you so carefully conceal.
Let's continue, please.
Make yourself comfortable and try to relax. You must take my hand and talk of Ciri. Tell me where you think she might be. Who could be at her side?
If Ciri couldn't find me, I'm sure she would have looked for another friend.
Who do you mean?
Yeah, Dandelion, Triss. Yennefer and Triss, I would say.
Yennefer wasn't in Novigrad. Triss was. But Ciri never found her. Maybe Dandelion. They liked each other a lot.
Mr. Dandelion, just get it. Dreamt of a swallow at first. After that, just nightmares.
At times the dreams can multiply. Show the past as well as the future.
The swallow. It symbolizes Ciri. She contacted Dandelion. I didn't know he was in town.
The poet. Heard about him. Someone left him the rosemary and thyme in their will.
The Rosemary and Thyme? Where's that?
As you enter the city through the red light district, you come upon a bridge. The rosemary is just past it.
Dandelion inherited a...
So I've heard.
Thanks for your help.
Good luck, Witcher. I hope you find your Ciri.
Okay, perfect. Misión completada. Broken Flower, new
Must
quest.
have broken many a heart, eh, Dandy?
Ah, no, not so much. The way around. Ok, vamos a leer lo que salió aquí. Glossary, tutorial cartas. Currently, on Aeromancy, the magic art of deciphering the past and the future as they appear in dreams is difficult for even a highly trained sorcerer to master. Those born with the talent, however, excel at it without any formal education. Such was the case of Corinne Tilly, whose fame as a dreamer, as such diviners are known, has spread far and wide. This gifted woman could not only dream of past events herself, but also induce revelatory dreams in persons, searching for direction or answers to specific questions. These abilities proved to be of great use to Geralt in his search. Being Vivaldi. The dwarves had been in the banking business since the legendary King Desmond of Temeria was just a snot-nosed brat in short trousers, asking for more jammed with his beard. Since then, the prominent Dorwen banking families, the Giancardis, the Vivaldis, and the Cianfinellis, have only expanded their services, establishing branches in all the largest cities of the north. Being Vivaldi carried the torch of this venerable tradition into modern times, growing the Novigrad branch of his family's bank until it was the largest in the city. Geralt and I had met him over a dozen years before our story begins and had always appreciated his honesty and financial acumen. The latter he gave further proof during the time in which our story takes place, for his bank remained profitable even in the face of growing non-human oppression. Okay. Bueno, mi gente, logramos terminar la misión por fin. Y ahora lo vamos a dejar aquí por hoy. Sé que no hubo acción, porque no hubo acción hoy, pero bueno. Un día de poca acción, solo mucho información, ¿no? Así que ahora tenemos que ir a donde Dandelion, hablar con él, para ver qué sabe de Ciri. Y bueno, seguir la historia, hacer misiones secundarias. Creo que ya voy a hacer la de Hattori. Entonces, continuamos en la próxima. Chao, chao.